Welcome back to Panator Plays Exanima, and we'll strip anyone and anything of their items just so I can get an advantage. Haha, I have a naked merchant. I should probably get more merchants and make them naked. Although that seems mean. Do we need novice weapons? I actually don't remember. Not a lot of mental acuity on display right now. It is 4:50 something in the morning and it's just not clicking for me. I should actually start training up their armor. The ward is also good. Yeah, I feel like our encumbrance is starting to affect our play negatively. Oh, that's right. I wanted to get a long sword, but not a great sword, for a two-handed weapon, if you will, for Leggy, because that is my comfort zone. Two-handed weapons is my comfort zone. Mike Tyson, sure. Shields are kind of shitty. Shields are a problem. Shields are a mistake in general. Nah, they're just efficient. I mean, it's defensive. No real warrior goes onto the field without protecting himself. That's the first rule in boxing. And I feel like that's the first rule in dueling. If we have the axes. Oh, I'm gonna get you. I can't do the Mike Tyson voice like the lisp, I think. But I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna impregnate you. I'm gonna make you love me. Actual quote from the man, I think. It may be paraphrased a little, but you get the gist of it. And, you know, maybe finding out the actual quote may horrify you, but I feel like he's a changed man. Haven't heard any bad things from him, but I'll be honest with you, with what the political climate is in, well, the world, as a man who lives in the Philippines and is horrified that, you know, people celebrated 6,000 people dying, being pretty much officially murdered by the police at this rate, at this point. Horrifies me. Not that I'm saying anything that would, you know, I'd want anybody to kill me or nothing, but saying that's horrible. And that's the political climate we're in now. And because that's the political climate we're in now, I mean, there's also the Trump thing. Whether or not you agree or disagree with him, there's one thing you have to say, and that's he's very, very politically charged. No. That thing where people like to talk about it, controversial. That's the one. A topic that divides an entire nation, many peoples, and shit. So if Mike Tyson were indeed still fucking out of his gourd, and I don't think he is, kind of calmed down after that, after a very specific and tragic incident, they're gonna fall by the wayside for a while, because literally bigger fish to fry. Also not thinking much about our swings, which is why that match took forever to sort out. I also apologize for the darkness of the screen. I'm not sure if you can actually see this in detail. Hell, I can't see it in detail. So there's that. I have political disagreements with my family, in that we have differing views, but the family, for the sake of just not really letting it go, but for the sake of peace and quiet, we don't really talk about it. If we disagree with it, we nod at each other. Rather, if we disagree with each other, we just nod at each other and just move on with our day. Because when it's rare that the family gets together and gets to really, you know, just hang out and have fun. If we want to fight, we can do that at any other point here, but not during like family meetings and stuff. Because, you know, you need rest. I think like life is fucky. I mean, student debt, turmoil at home and abroad, the nightmare that our culture, our society as a whole, humanity may be progressing to a point and faster than we have the psychology to develop. Like the idea that we can hear a lot of bad things online. If your social media following is high enough, you can see other people being more successful, which fucks with us in a sociological level. I mean, when you're with family, sure, you can disagree and maybe on a vehement level, but you can let that go for a few minutes just to enjoy the fact that there's some people who care about you. And that's where I'm at now. At least that's the way I would like to think about it. On other news, that match went well. Also, the lightning, the thunder effects are still here. Do we have any more elimination? I would love more elimination. 1 gold is not enough to buy a two-handed sword, if I remember correctly. Why don't you... Is that a spear? I don't think you're using that thing. Oh, you have a stick. You bought clothes. I see. That is where your budget went. I got you now. Let's try our right to lefts more. It's actually very efficient against two-handers because of the way it's angled towards their right shoulder, which means the animation has to complete before they can actually block us. Our right to lefts are going to be very effective in this situation. Although I've seen the AI tie us up with their shields. I don't know how to do that intentionally. There's probably no way to do it. If there's anything, and there's a lot of compliments I'm gonna give Exanima, but if there's the biggest compliment I think is what are relatively simple controls can do a lot. You can do a lot with them. You can, you know, be a sword dancer, a microphone crasher, a wedding basher. I don't think that's how it works. Microphone basher. I'm pretty sure there's a rap down there, but I'm not fly. I'm just brown. You know, I can't rap, although there is a very healthy rap culture in the Philippines. In that there's also like Flip Top, I think it's like the international rap and shit on people contest. Probably not international, but I guess, you know, you just piss on each other and rhyme. It's actually pretty funny if you can understand the language. It's often a mix of English and Filipino. And I mean, that's a confusing point in the Philippines right now, by the way. Not really a confusing point, but I was taught that Tagalog is a dialect. Filipino is the language, but it's also the people. It used to be that Tagalog, I think, was considered the term for the language here. And now they're being used interchangeably. Again, I think George Carlin would flip his shit because he didn't believe in language shifting and changing according to its uses. More of like, it's in the dictionary, can we follow the rules? You can't just change the rules of language whenever you want. You know what happens when you do that? Alt-truth. I'm not even kidding. That's probably a root cause of it. Not really a root cause, I guess. I'm not blaming people for using their own words, and which is resulting in the confusion nowadays, but I think more elimination. Inept duel. Not really a fan. Can't bring people here, although I would love the 6 gold. Maybe I should start hiring people. Adept. Can't do that. Pugilism. Okay, let's do some punchies. I think... yeah, punchies. Oh, this isn't pugilism at all. This is the other thing. Just dash forward, Pat. Like, it doesn't matter. That guy's got a hammer. He's not supposed to be here. The only thing we have to worry about are people with two-handers, because we can't get the reach on them, and maybe the bladed stuff, because blocking that is predictably a little iffy. Shouldn't block, you know, knives with your forearms, but if you don't have a choice, it's better than getting stabbed in the head. I mean, almost certainly it's gonna suck, but and it's that kind of fear that, you know, will convince you that maybe you should just take it on the chin rather than blocking with your arms. Because my arms will hurt. Well, dude, your head's gonna hurt. That's a knife. You call that a knife? Now this is a stabbing and a mugging. Probably in that order. Actually, it can't be in that order. Once you stab somebody, I'm pretty sure it's a robbery, not a mugging. I mean, if you kill them, I guess. But yeah, the tragic misuse of words. I understand that language does develop. I actually disagree with Carlin in that respect. There is... communication should adapt to the people and not the other way around. Although I probably shouldn't be giving those, you know, entertaining those kinds of thoughts at 5 in the morning, I want to say. It's still dark out, and, you know, winter solstice is still sort of here. And by winter solstice, I mean it's pretty dark at 6 and 5 a.m. I can't actually tell the difference anymore, which is personally fucked with my internal clock. But anyway, but there is also, I also punched the sword, which gave me pause and turned me into a cat. Oh, we also blocked that, further turning me into a feline of some regard. And by some regard, I mean meow. It should be according to use of people and not because one guy said it. So I guess it's a majority rule. In this case, the majority rule isn't always bad. Although with all the times that people have told children, and including me, and like, you're special, you're gonna do great things. Look, I've gotten to the point where I can do like 2 things well. And I'm happy about that. And, you know, and just because I'm the minority, I think that's an important thing. Just because I'm in the minority in the vote doesn't make me right. You know, you should be brave when you think you're right, and you should stand up for what you believe in. But just because not many people agree with you doesn't mean you're right. Although that, I can see how that conclusion could have been drawn from all the times people are pointing out that the minority was fair. I mean, look at Dungeons and Dragons, the original cartoon. Sector Simulation, the original cartoon. The complainer was always wrong. That guy with the shield, the paladin or the crusader. I don't really know. I don't really have, you know, very clear memories of that cartoon. But the entirety, every time somebody complained, they were wrong, and they were just pretty much encouraged to go with the flow, and that's not good for anybody. I'm also very annoyed that we haven't appeared to have seen our big swords yet. Just a bunch of little swords. Maybe it's not maybe it's an adept tier. I may be mistaking things for other things here. It's gonna send Leggy in for another fight. And that's how problems arise. If one person says, you know what, this is true, without any proofing, and he just says it with conviction, with so much conviction that you're firmly convinced that, you know, maybe this is, you know, maybe this is right. If he makes you doubt, you're already in trouble. If he makes you doubt without context and without proof, then we've got concerns. He or she, rather. Okay. This could be, you know, a side effect, but not really a side effect, but a natural progression of clickbait. Because, you know, clickbait is really an abuse of human curiosity. The thing that made us travel to the moon. The thing that let us discover amazing things like cow milk is good. Or I should eat seashells. Or the stuff inside the seashells, even though they look really, really gross. And it's kind of horrifying when you think about it that way. I don't think they intended for anybody who made clickbait intended for that to be the outcome, but that is what essentially clickbait is. An abuse of the human condition, an abuse of our curiosity, and that's kind of tragic. And that's how, you know, if you're catchy enough, if you're charming enough, if you're interesting enough, if you lead the reader's mind well enough, you don't even have to be right. You just have to be clickbaity, and you can provoke people into doing things, and that's just part of life. People are gonna do that to you, and all you can really do is try to be aware of where your mind is going. You know, this is gonna be a strange thought, but you are not your mind. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are entirely separate from you. If you were your thoughts, all of us would be charged with rape or murder or all the things. We'd have problems, because what we think isn't necessarily what we're going to do. At least I would hope so. Just look, I get a lot of bad thoughts throughout the day, but they're mostly because I have a short temper, and I'm trying to be a good person, but I still got those thoughts. And I don't think that makes me a worse person for it. What would make me a worse person for it if it's like, yeah, you should set that orphanage on fire. It's not like, who's gonna cry over them? They're orphans. Man, that orphanage thing is kind of played out, I think. Not a lot of interesting things here. We do have a challenger opportunity here. I'll give it a shot, but I'm probably gonna forfeit this one. Although Leggy has the best shot of dealing with, oh god help me, with somebody in armor. Because blunt attacks are very good. And by blunt attacks, I don't mean drugs. Although attacking with weed is probably, you know, something that can happen. Leggy's not gonna... Well, alright, we won. That's interesting. I would have liked to steal that armor and keep it, but predictably, that's not something you can't do, because that would be a little busted. How's Leggy doing? I don't think we can get our sword yet. The axe is tempting, but it's like a half-assed sword and a half-assed hammer. Not quite enough impact damage to make those big baseball-style swings work, and not heavy enough to really go through armor. Kind of a middle ground weapon if you can't decide on what your style is. Although, as I say that, I do realize that it's my preferred style, the axe. I'm a bit of an axe man. I used to play the guitar badly, so that's kind of an insult to all axemen out there. Could you step? Thank you. Thank you for smoking and going into my thing and letting me clothesline you with my sledgehammer. And I missed. That's surprisingly hard to hit. No knock it. Oh, that was embarrassing. We just misjudged our range there. Let's go for the big swing. Nice block. I made you hit. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you getting hit over there? Block that. And let's go for the right to lefts. I think that's his weakness since he doesn't have a shield. I mean, if we didn't hold shift, we should be fine right now. Bye-bye. I've already forgotten what I was talking about. Probably something about culture. I probably said something I'd regret. There's at least once an episode I say something that my brain's like, maybe you should rethink that, Pat. Maybe someone's gonna be mad. Someone's always gonna be mad. Okay, but maybe you should have phrased it better in a manner that, you know, is cleaner. Because if you're gonna piss somebody off, don't you want to piss them off properly and intentionally and communicate your way in such a manner that is actually understandable, intelligent, and justified? Oh, well, you know, when you put it that way, brain, you're right. I should reconsider the way I think about stuff. But flow of consciousness stuff is still new to me, to the point that when I get into the rhythm, I actually have trouble holding conversations. I mean, I can talk, but I do nothing but talk. Listening becomes a real fucking ordeal. Bam. Oh no. Step back. Come on. You wanna take a swing at me? Come on. Don't faint. Just be broken. Alright. Yeah, I mean, if I do a lot of recordings in a day and I have to meet up with people, like, I can't stop talking. I can't even curate the thoughts that are coming out of my head, which is not great. You should... There's probably been a time in your life where people said you should probably think before you speak. Okay, we're leaving. You should probably think before you speak. And they're right, you should think before you speak. You should consider, hey, is this a good thing to say? Will this add to the conversation? Will this improve somebody's life in a way? Most of the time, the answer is going to be no. So you probably shouldn't say what you think. Although there's an interesting point, but well, not I guess interesting, but I guess it is a point. But if you think something is racist or wrong, you should ask. Like, you should just ask. Like, do you think this thing is racist? And if they might be, affected by it negatively, but the fact that you're asking, we didn't all grow up in super understanding households. Some of us, had parents that were a product of their generation. That's not a bad thing. I don't blame my mother for what she believed, and she was very progressive. Although there was that time where she sat me down. Well, not shat me down. I hope not. But she sat me down and then asked me, like, do you think it's weird when women are not aggressor? I think have more initiative in relationships, because she was watching this soap opera, Be Careful with My Heart, I think. And she got into a flame war. And that's when I realized the internet was well, I always knew it was legit, but it's everywhere now. Like, my mother was getting into flame wars. Not that she didn't have a temper, I had to get that somewhere. Just, oh god, that armor is gonna be a hassle. But I think we're in equivalent speed, so I can confidently counter her if necessary. And just let her, wrong angle. Should swing the same way. That was lucky. Should have gotten punished for that, but we didn't. Also, we're bulkier than she is, so... we'll just chop off her leg. That works for me. And she asked. She didn't assume that... Well, of course, she asked after the flame war and in a private locale, but she asked whether or not it was, weird to think that way, and told her, yeah, it's not weird, but a lot of people are going to the idea, I can understand where she was coming from, and I explained that, most people are okay with women being the aggressor, and she was just... It was not a thought that really... Not that it didn't sit well with her, but it was weird. It was, mind-blowing for her. And you have to understand, at some point in the future, if society keeps developing the way it does, and by we, I mean, people who are, 25 to 30 and up, not so, I am, 31, I'm about to turn 32 within the week, which distresses me on a level I don't even understand why it distresses me, but it's gonna come to a point where you'll have eventually not understand what the fuck is going on with society, and you'll have to ask whether something is now racist, whether something is now not okay to say. And you know who's shitty? People who get mad at you for asking. You're asking, I'm not gonna risk this. You're asking, goddammit. You're trying to learn. As long as you don't say it in a shitty way, I guess. But you're trying to learn, and that's really all anybody asking from anybody else. You're making an effort. And I guess that sounds a lot like the participation award. But the thing is, it's not a participation award. It's a trying to understand award in this specific case. You know what? Get stabbed. When I don't know what to do, you stab him in the gut. And slash him in the leg. Try to go with double slash, and you get that beautiful angle where the shield is protecting you. Which is really gross. I gotta say, from a gameplay standpoint, it's really gross how safe this is. Yeah, we're good. You gotta ask. Just ask somebody, is this okay to say? And if they don't know, Google it. Ask somebody else. People who get mad at you for asking probably are assholes. They should help you understand. As long as you're coming from a place where you're honestly trying to understand, things should work out. Because we don't understand. We have very different contexts. And if you don't get it, that's fine. Just make an effort to learn. Alright? Do it for me. Do it for you. Do it for, this lady, who will be in memoriam after I'm done smashing her head in with, I guess, not Lucille. Hello. Actually, I don't like this. And that's a dagger. Daggers are very fast and can do a lot of damage really fast. I should probably go for a head. Nope. Okay, that's 2 series of fights now that have kind of gone south. I think the two-handed weapon is actually adept here, which is very disappointing. Alright, what do we got? Nobody's leveled up. Our merchant is still naked, which is cool. Elimination. Oh, our HP is high enough, so maybe it'll work out. What do I have in... Oh, the hammer. Wow, you made a mistake there. That was a second mistake. That was not a mistake. I broke your arm. How do you feel that? How you like me now? Oh, shit. Oh, well, it's worked out. Crushed your hand. Oh, come on. With daggers, I have to be defensive. I can't go aggressive because it's too easy for the AI to just sidestep and murder us. And I'm trying to get away from the corner because you don't want to get stuck there. Nobody's ever said, oh good, we're cornered. This is working out according to plan. Except for, I guess, for Muhammad Ali with that entire rope-a-dope deal. Which I wish I could have watched that match without knowing about rope-a-dope. Because can you imagine the emotions that must have been going through everybody as, you know, they think that he's forfeiting. Like the way I'm doing now, he's just letting... Oh fuck, this is embarrassing. Who is that? Big Tom? No, George Foreman. Big George. Like, go to town on him. It must have been terrifying for people who loved Ali. And then George got tired and Ali went to town on him. So that's kind of amazing. Oh my god, we're playing badly. Let's focus. We gotta focus on consciously trying to do better. We can't just keep relying on ranting to make it work. And slash. Savior of the universe. And step back. And slash. Ooh, that could have been bad. If he had, like, any way of recovering. If it was a faster weapon, he could have countered us there when we dashed in. Gave him our backs to slash. Hey, nice pacifier. I'm taking your legs now. Good lord, dual wielding is a little busted. If only because we can attack from 2 directions at one time. And there's always going to be something vulnerable. And I think hitting them interrupts their recovery animations. Or recovery speed, so yeah. Nice boots. I want those. You're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, lady. Look, you can't hurt me if you're dead. Okay, block that. There we go. And step back and stab. That should be enough. Yeah, it is enough. I knew it the moment she started falling down. I knew that we were in trouble the moment we were in trouble. Not a lot of shield people here. Very confused about that. I feel like there should be more. I can see the sun rising. And by the sun rising, I can see the implication of the sun rising, which is blue light, which is apparently not that the sun. It was just my eyes playing tricks on me. Trick or treat is weird. I've never really gone out trick or treating because nobody ever said trick at me. My friends and I just got piles of candy and diabetes for like a year. And for a year, I mean like we got it this one year and now like a lot of us have diabetes. They say it's extended obesity, like a prolonged or engorged obesity, if you will, in terms of a schedule. And they might not be wrong. But I do have diabetes. Did I give you armor? Yeah, I did. I'm gonna steal that too. Come here. Oh, we have a plus. We actually leveled up. I think I can level up here. I would like to level up here because this is kind of a waste of... I think I can press K? Nah, I can't level up here. Well, we may as well get her armor. Nice top. Nice gloves. Nice wrist guards. Nice pants, which we'll have to give up when their family tries to get it from us. For like, oh my god, can you give me back my mother's suit? Look, I'm busy. Why don't you cut off her skin and wear it? And then maybe someone will give a crap because you're crazy. The head dealie is important though, although it looks like a sword condom. I don't know how to deal with this. We just stepped back and that was a nice shot, but we did trade, which is not ideal considering their armor is better and they won't have to fight after this. Okay, that's bad. Stab? Not a good stab. Wait for the overswing. Like right now. That's the swing we want to stab into. Because it leaves the gut open, even though her arm is crossed over. And even if you don't hit the gut and you just stab the arm, I think you're still winning. Nice lever armor. It's concerning me somewhat. Also weird that we can block that like this. If we went for the upper swing, we would have been in trouble. I'm not sure we could have dodged it. Bye-bye. I mean, 2-weapon assaults are interesting. What I want to see is like a bad guy use it more, because I don't see a lot of 2-weapon dealies. Might become the new shield problem. Like I would miss shields. If it, oh god. Ah, a scythe thing. A military scythe, if you will. Speaking of which, I am. You know what helped me get better at Exanima? Play Mount and Blade. Like the combat system is a little more complex actually in some respects. But it's similar enough so that I actually feel like I got better by playing a lot of Mount and Blade, which is a series that's probably gonna come up in late Feb, early March, I think, depending on how my schedule works out, depending on how long War turns out to be, or how short, because it's not really going out that well. I mean, I knew some stuff, like how to run missions properly when I started it, but I didn't know all the rules. And you know, I wanted to play it completely blind, but that's really dumb, because Long War is gonna blindside you anyway, one way or the other. So why go into it blind? Because it was new and there was no real information out of it. There was, I guess, some real information out of it, but not enough to confidently roll it and say, I have a plan. I was mostly like, that thing's interesting, let's go click on it. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, you can subscribe to the Dark Fluffy Cloud channel so you don't miss a thing. You can also follow me on Twitter. You can like the video, you can share it, you can leave a comment, you can do all those wonderful things and more. But you don't have to do anything I say, because I'm not the boss of you. Who I am is Panator. And I'll see you later.